Hey, we are doing a closer look. And so what we're doing is we're going to be grabbing a few different little artifacts within the museum and we take a closer look. So here I have a model of a pit home. Now this was the traditional winter house of the Okanagan people. As we were semi-nomadic, we would move around all throughout summer, but when winter came, we needed a good place to sleep where we would be safe and warm and all that other fun stuff. So this would be made out of cedar and pine, and it would be dug into the ground about 4 or 5 feet deep with a diameter of 12 to 24 meters. There would be 2 entrances, one up top for the men. This was also known as the warrior's entrance. And then there would be a tunnel near the other side where women, elders and children would come in and out. Now inside, you had about 4 different generations living inside, so it got a little crowded, but it was also nice and warm. And this is where our people would relax, they would tell stories, they would catch up on beading, and this is where we waited out the cold winters. Hi guys, welcome back to a closer look, and today we'll be looking at the limited edition Pendleton blanket designed by artist Janine Lott. Now in this blanket there's a lot going on, and so I'll help to break it down for you. Here we have the grizzly bear, which represents leadership. We have the fish bones in the top left that represent sustainability. In the top right we have a spirit bird, which represents culture, where we were and where we are going. In the middle we have our moral guide. We have Coyote, the shapeshifter, and the one that teaches us that the best medicine really is laughter. On the top we have the blue that represents the sky, and then we have the blue that represents the water, both life-sustaining. And then in the middle, the colors that you see, those represent the layer cake mountains that you see within the valley. On the bottom we have Inseelchin, which means our language. And then we have our water spirits, which represent the sustainability and the life-giving that comes from our water. And then we have our logos that represent Westbank First Nation. Hey all, welcome back to a closer look. Today we're looking at fishing tools. A lot of the fishing tools that you will see within the museum, we still use today. They may have a more modern look, but traditionally, often a gaff hook would be made using a sharpened deer antler, like you see here, fastened to a ponderosa pine pole. This one would be great for in the creeks to snag the fish out of the water with a hooking motion. The next tool that we would use would be the tri-prong spear. This has deer bone shards made with sharpened choke cherry, and the string here, as well as the net that you see, this would be created using hemp fiber made from a plant called dogbane, but in Okanagan it would often be referred to as speetsen. These would be woven together and they would make an incredibly tight rope. Now this rope is what we Okanagans were really well known for, that and our paint. But our rope was very strong, it was plentiful, and it's what we used to trade all throughout the territory. Hey, welcome back to a closer look, and today, you guessed it, we're talking about beads. Now the cool thing about beadwork is it's something that was actually introduced. Earlier Okanagans, we did a lot of embroidery, or we would decorate our clothing using ochre. Beads started making their way into our community through trade, and that was especially when the settlers started making their way through here. But regalia made a big appearance when we did more of the intertribal marriages, and that's when, same time, the powwow was being introduced into our culture as well. So these celebrations, it allowed us to put those two cultures together to make something really beautiful. And so today, beadwork is still done within our community, and it's done very widely. A lot of different nations will participate in making beads. And what's really neat is that these designs are still unique to each nation. Hey all, welcome back to a closer look. Today we're going to be talking about stick games. Who likes to gamble? I sure don't, because I'm bad at it. I always lose money. But anyways, stick games. So stick games were often used between two people or even two large groups of different nations, and it was often used in negotiations. Instead of going to war, often we'd play a game and that would just settle any kind of dispute. So what we got here in the box is these are known as your points, because they're pointy. You stick them in the ground. And this is known as your kick stick. This is kind of like the 8-ball of a stick game. Whoever gets this, that's the end of the game. And these are your bones. This is the unmarked bone. This is the one that you want to find when you're playing the guessing game. And this is known as a miss. When you get this, you lose your turn and you have to wait again. Hey, welcome back to A Closer Look. Today, part of our collection, we're looking at the birch bark baskets. So the birch bark baskets are made from the birch bark trees, obviously. Now the birch bark is harvested in the fall, where it's easy to peel off the tree, and they are stitched together using cedar string or sinew, depending on which, and they would be used to hold water, berries, various roots. You could hold your paint, and it was incredibly lightweight, so we could carry it with us everywhere when we were still semi-nomadic. Hey guys, welcome back to A Closer Look. Today we're going to be talking about these lovely gourds made by Janine Lott. So Janine Lott makes these gourds. She gets the seeds online, grows them in her garden, and when they get to a size that she likes, she will carve them out, she will dry them, scrape off the mold, and she'll use a wood burning tool to create the design that she wants, and then she'll paint over top of it. This one's my favorite because I love turtles. What I also like about this, it's a very innovative take on Indigenous art. Hey all, welcome back to A Closer Look. Today I have a beautiful beaded story bag by Loren Turbasket, and it is one of the many eye catchers within our museum because it just sparkles so nicely under the light. But what I really love about this story bag is it has a story on it. This is a story of how turtles set the animals free. So how the gist of the story goes is that Eagle thinks he's pretty awesome, so he races all the animals, and when he wins, he takes their tail and they become a slave. Well, turtle and muskrat, they don't really like that, so they go and they try to outsmart Eagle in order to get the tails back. But it's a wonderful story, and if you want to hear the rest of it, just tell us in the comments. But this is made entirely out of beads, and just the care and the precision. It is one of our nicest collections.